Hello, guys.
Hello.
Welcome to episode 13 of Hello, Hello, the podcast. Once again, joined by the lovely Jenz. Hi, how are you?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm okay. I've been fine. We're recording today on the 31st of March. Another lovely Wednesday. I guess we have a relatively chill episode today compared to our chonky boy from last week. We got a couple of topics to talk about, but we want to start today. Jens, has there been anything you've been sort of playing or watching specifically that you've been excited about or that's been catching your eye?
I haven't played this yet, but I'm definitely excited for It Takes Two, which is already out.
Yes.
So I'm
Yes.
really
As of
excited
recording,
for
it's
that.
come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. There should be a gameplay video coming to the YouTube at some point in the near future, so make sure you sub over there and keep your eyes peeled. Hopefully sooner rather than later. But we'll be sure to let you guys know on all the socials when that does come out.
Yeah. And in terms of TV, Bajo and I have started a new comic series called Invincible on Amazon Prime.
I'm intrigued about this.
Please just watch the first episode and you'll know what I'm talking about. You will know exactly what I'm talking about.
How long do the episodes go for?
They're
are they
fairly
like 40
decent.
minutes or
yeah,
are
like
they like
40.
Okay.
But
okay. All right.
Holy shit, the first episode is insane. And you will know what I'm talking about. So please do check it out.
I don't want you to tell me too much because I don't want to spoil it, but I also want to know like what it's about. I want to know what to expect.
I won't say
don't want
anything.
to, but I want to, but I don't. Yeah.
Don't look up anything. Just watch it.
Okay. So it's called Invincibles. Is it on Amazon Prime?
Yeah, Invincible. It's great.
Okay. All right. I'll have to give that a go tonight. Then,
please do let me know how you go with that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll keep you guys updated.
What about you?
In terms of me, I haven't been playing too much. I've been sort of busy with uni and stuff like that. But just every now and again, Pokemon. Be back on Pokemon Sword. I'm on the grind for shinies.
And you're also buying cards.
Yeah. If you told me before, I could have had some cards to show you, but we've sorted them all. Me and Emma on Sunday. Me and Emma on Sunday. We put all of my cards out from the years that I've been collecting these cards. All of them. There was honestly more than I was expecting.
Yeah, right.
But we pulled them all out. We put them all on the floor. We sorted them into piles of like if we had duplicates of the same Pokemon, they all went in the same pile, and then we all sorted them by like their evolution and type. It took us like a solid 2.5, 3 hours or something to sort it all out. It was quite a task, but now I have a lovely sorted collection of Pokemon cards.
Yeah,
that's going to be ruined in the coming months when I eventually pick up more cards and things. So,
have you made $1 million
we'll have to sort it out
yet?
again later. Not yet, no.
Damn.
I did pull I'll put the little image of it up, I guess, in the YouTube video for those that care, but I did pull a very lovely shiny Ditto from one of my packs. And that's the one card that I wanted to get above all other cards. Was the one card I wanted, and in the box that I got, I was very lucky to be able to get that shiny Ditto, so I was very happy that day, and still am very happy. But yeah, that was my sort of thing. But in terms of watching things, I haven't been watching too much. I'm trying to think, other than just like Twitch streams and those sorts of things. There's nothing really that's jumping out to me. I've been rewatching How I Met Your Mother on Netflix.
Really?
Yeah. I'm one of the people that just rewatches shows a lot rather than starts new ones. That's why I'm quite excited to start this one that Jens has mentioned.
You will like it.
Because it's something different finally. But yeah, usually I'll just rewatch things. So I'm up to like season 7 now. I've been watching it for a while.
Damn,
it reminds me of my high school days.
You're deep in there.
I used to watch it a lot in high school.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, well, it came back on Netflix like a couple of months back. So I've had a fair bit of time to start getting through it all. There's a couple of documentaries that I've saved my watch list for when I've finished it because they're quite they seem quite interesting. So I'll have to give those a go. But yeah, nothing too crazy in terms of what I've been up to.
All right. Well, let's get to the news, shall we?
Yeah, we'll jump into the meat of today's episode.
Did you want to start with this?
Yeah, the Among Us update. Now Now, funnily enough, we actually played Among Us with a bunch of our friends just last week sometime. Yeah, there wasn't too many. I only played 1 or 2 games. It wasn't
it's
too
not as
crazy.
fun when you don't have 10 people.
No,
and it was very out of the blue that we were like, hey, why don't we just check it out?
Yep, why not? But yeah, the new new map comes out. When does it say?
Today.
Just give us a date.
Today.
Today, is it? Oh, okay. So as the time this
recording.
episode's gone live, yeah, it'll already be out. So if you want to give the new update a go, give that shit an update. But it's got a new massive map apparently called the Airship, which brings a whole new sort of fundamental change to the way Among Us has worked, I guess, in the past. Because you can now choose where to start. Typically, everyone starts in like the one sort of central area, so like the cafeteria or like just the main meeting point.
Yeah.
Everyone starts there, but you can now, because the map is so large, you can now choose where to start. Which sort of
very
I guess,
interesting.
It's gonna bring a whole new layer of strategy to it, I guess. And I guess like it's gonna make it a lot more frantic because right from the start, you're not gonna be able to see all of the players and see where they run off to.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's gonna bring a whole new dynamic to it. There's a whole bunch of new tasks specifically for this map as well. There's new kill animations that people have been asking for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And they've also changed like sort of the way that players can now move around the map. Typically it was just like, walking very isometrically up, down, left, right.
Yeah, it was all walking.
Yeah, you can go through doors, and then like obviously if you're in the post, you could go through vents.
Yeah.
All of that's still there, but you can now go through, like, you can go up and down ladders, you can go across moving platforms and things, so there's sort of a whole new, I guess, dynamic ability to the map, if that's the word I would use. I don't know.
I'm curious
seems
how
interesting.
it plays.
I think we're going to have to give it a go.
Yeah, I'm curious how it plays, because I feel like it's going to be harder, because some of the maps were quite small, that it was kind of easy to see what was happening. But if this map is really quite big, it'll be very interesting.
If it's as big as what they say it is, it's going to be one for the real hardcore players, I feel.
Yeah. So maybe we'll have to check it out.
Hardcore Among Us. Yeah, I think so. I think it'd be fun if we did a video of it too. If we could muster up 10 people.
True.
I feel like we could give the Airship a solid crack,
True.
But yeah.
Good idea.
Jenz, do you want to jump into the next one? Because this is one topic that you're very excited about.
Yeah. So as I was doing my research today, I came across a game called Cozy Grove, which I hadn't heard of outside of today. And it's basically Animal Crossing if it was haunted. So as soon as I read that, I was like, hang on. Because I was addicted to Animal Crossing.
I think a lot of people were.
I think so too.
I think a lot of people were, and still are.
Yeah. But yeah, it's currently out on Apple Arcade, which is a subscription service for Apple. I think it's like $7. You can get access to the whole arcade system there. They've got, so it's available there, but it will be coming out on April 8th for Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. I feel like it's going to be more of a Switch game. I don't know. It doesn't feel like a PC
exactly what I said.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw it, because the name sounded familiar. Cozy Grove sounded familiar, so I felt like I've seen it somewhere before. So I did look it up real quick before we started recording, and it does. Yeah, that's it. The first thing I noticed was like, this has got to be a game for Switch for me. If I'm gonna pick it up, I'm gonna pick it up on the Switch, because if I get it on my my PC or on my PS5 or something, I'm not gonna be inclined to play it because there's too many other like bigger and beefier games. And I feel like these sort of smaller, cuter, like more laid back, relaxed games are very ideal for the Switch and that sort of handheld, sort of thing. So
and especially with the whole dynamic of the game where after a while it'll become to the point where, how you're doing chores in Animal Crossing is kind of the same thing where you do quests every day that take about half an hour. So like really booting up your computer or your PlayStation just to play for half an hour to do your tasks.
Just to play, and
then to log off doesn't feel like a thing that you would probably do, but your Switch is just so much easier. But hey,
it's way too perfect for
it. You do you.
Exactly, If you don't have a Switch, you've got to play it some other way. So
it'd be a good mobile game too. But it's basically the same concept where of Animal Crossing. You can fish, you can craft, you can decorate, and the quests will allow your island to grow and all that stuff. But there is a new dynamic because of the ghosts in this world, I suppose.
Yeah, because it is haunted.
Yeah.
It is haunted.
And it will encourage you to log off in the sense that it will tell you you've done everything that you can today. Don't need to stick around for longer. So
I like that.
Me too.
I like, you're not just sitting there for the sake of it. You're not just like running around finding things to do. Like,
yeah,
it's like, you've done your
you've
stuff.
done everything.
Thank you for playing.
Good job.
Yeah. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. So I'm really, really curious. I like the art style, and I'm not sure how much this game's going to retail on
I
the
couldn't
other
find
platforms.
anything either. Yeah.
So
No,
yeah.
I had a look on both Steam and like the Nintendo store on my desktops. Like I didn't pull up the Switch or anything like that. But there was no price listed for either of them, so I'm not sure. I don't think it would be too expensive. I think it would be around $20 to $30
at max,
probably
hopefully.
max at max. Yeah.
But we'll see.
The only thing I want to know are the villagers cute?
Ooh. I actually don't know.
Are the villagers cute?
The trailer only shows so much that, it's not...
Because, like, I have a bunch of cute villagers on my Animal Crossing island that I'm very attached to. I have my little Rolled. Yes, I have my Rolled plushie sitting on my bed right now. I do. I saw him a couple of days ago,
okay,
yes.
Good,
I've been slowly accumulating all of the Mario items that they put out in the new Animal Crossing update.
Oh, have you?
So I do see my villagers every once in a while.
Okay.
Yep. So,
you're doing much better than me.
Are the villagers cute? Oh, if you want them, I would recommend doing them because I don't know when they're going to take them away, but they'll take them away at some point because they're like a seasonal item.
I don't know if I can be bothered. I'm too scared.
No, you can't bother.
I'm too scared to go back.
I'm too scared. Jens. You can get a little Mario outfit. You could wear it. It's so cute. And the mustache, you can wear a mustache. Oh, it's great.
Maybe. Anyways,
it's great.
So yeah, Cozy Grove coming out April 8th. Thanks.
Yeah. CD Projekt Red, we're going to talk about these guys again. Because I saw this morning that they are apparently reconsidering making an online sort of or a multiplayer update to Cyberpunk. Or not an update, I guess. They were like, this has been sort of in the pipeline for a little while now.
Oh, has it?
But they came out, they came out and said, hey, we're making, like, we're going to do multiplayer at some point, but it's going to be a bit different. Like, it's going to be its own standalone sort of thing to Cyberpunk,
right.
Like the game that came out in 2017. It's going to be very different to that. It's going to be its own standalone thing. But then how it came out this morning and said that they are reconsidering even making it in the first place.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah, and I feel like this is a good thing and B, a bad thing. A good thing because it means they can free up a lot of their time to finally polishing off Cyberpunk and making that as fleshed out as it should have been when it came out. But it's also a bad thing because like people would have been quite excited for this, I feel.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't over the moon for Cyberpunk multiplayer. I didn't feel like it would have, I don't know if it's the same vibe that the single player sort of version did, I feel like those online, like RPGs, I feel like need to be single player. I think it gets a bit tricky when you make them multiplayer or online.
I mean, if it was along the lines of GTA 5 online, it would have been pretty cool. If it was to the standard of that.
But then it would have lost like the whole RPG sort of element of it, like crafting your own character. Like, because I could have crafted a character that was way too overpowered.
Right.
And I'm just like going around ruining all these, like, these people's days just because I'm a lot more overpowered than I have like maybe more time to play the game or something, so I can unlock all of these things more. Like, so it'd be a bit weird. But it's but they did say, like Jen said, that nothing was announced for it. Like we got no trailer, got no gameplay type things, but a lot of people just assumed that it was going to be similar to GTA 5 in a sense that it was just like it was the same Night City. Like they're not going to make a whole new map for it, obviously. But it was just going to be like a bunch of tailored missions for the online or multiplayer version of it that you could do with like a group of people, a group of friends and whatnot. And then just when you wanted to free roam around, you just be free roaming around Night City with 20, 30 or so, however many people they want to fit in their world, just sort of causing havoc and things like that. So I can sort of understand that. I can see that working, I guess. It's I don't know. I feel like if they did push it out with all of these bugs and like still like things still breaking and things, it would have been even crazier because like I see people play GTA 5 and there's like tanks and there's jets flying around and there's jetpacks and there's like
It is
you
pretty
try and like it's just
insane.
insane. And that's a very polished game. So you get like, if you get 30 people in a server and tell them you can do sort of whatever you want, drive around, they're going to break the game
Yeah.
instantly inside. Like, they're going to, yeah.
Which
So,
wouldn't be very good for the state of
no,
what Cyberpunk was or is in.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I feel like that's why they've sort of put it on the back burner or just scrapped it
Right.
completely because they're like, no, we've got to fix this initial game first
Mm.
before moving on and trying to make anything else. But having said that,
Hmm.
they did also say that they are shifting, like CD Projekt Red said they were shifting their focus to bring online elements to all of its games, quotations, where they make sense.
Okay.
So it seems like multiplayer games for the future of CD Projekt Red are definitely a thing that is on the back burner. Like they're not gonna force
Mm-mm-mm.
multiplayer for the sake of it, which I think is a good thing. You know, like there needs to be games out there that are just single player games because sometimes I don't want to go and log on online and you know have to have a decent connection to
Yeah,
enjoy all these sorts
yeah.
of things. Sometimes I just want to lay back and
Don't
play a
want to
game.
really
You know,
interact with people, you know.
yeah, you know, I want to unwind and things. So it's like
Mm.
I don't have to deal with other people as well.
Yeah,
So I feel like
totally.
that's good because a perfect example of this is like The Witcher and The Witcher series. Like none of the Witcher games have had multiplayer or any online functionality in any sort of the way, but they just recently brought out the Gwent card game, which
Oh
should be
yeah,
very
they
similar to like
did.
Hearthstone or like, you know, Pokemon and stuff like that. Um, and that makes sense to bring that out as an online game
Yeah.
because, you know, it's like a card game, a card game. Like you just play against other people and things like that. You know, it's competitive, so that makes sense. And so I can see why they wanted to bring that out. Um, but yeah, I feel like that's what they're gonna focus a lot more on is those sort of little like add-ons afterwards to sort of enrich an experience, I guess, if it makes sense again. Like, I don't know.
Oh,
I feel like it's a good decision.
that'll be interesting to see what aspect they use then.
Yeah, if anything,
Yeah.
if anything, like I don't see them sort of continuing on much with Cyberpunk. Like I feel like that if anything, they're gonna bring out like a couple of DLCs for like story add-ons or whatnot. And sort of leave it at that. I don't feel like it's ever gonna get multiplayer.
Yeah.
I'd be very surprised if they do at least, put it that way. Very surprised.
Very interesting.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. Just have to wait and see.
Um,
Chance, do you
talking
want to
about
move on to
waiting
our
and
next topic then?
seeing, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually didn't hear about this at all before. Apparently it was talked about
Yeah,
before.
you've missed a bunch of this Disney Plus news.
I
Like I
have.
remember what would have been a couple of weeks ago we didn't even know they were making a Loki series.
Oh my god, I know. I was
Um
so happy to hear that.
yeah, gents, they're making a bunch of stuff.
But this is
I
Star
think
Wars. This is Star
yeah, off the top of my head,
Wars.
I think there's I want to say about 6 or 7 Star Wars TV shows in the
Wow,
pipeline
really?
that have been announced as like yeah they're
What the
in
hell?
you know early production like pre-production sort of things. There's a bunch of them. Like we're getting an Ahsoka TV show. We're
Oh,
getting
I have heard that one.
yeah we're getting the Bad Batch which is coming out quite soon I think. There's a bunch of them.
Hmm.
Sorry,
We're
but
specifically going to be talking about the Obi
yeah
Wan Kenobi Disney Plus series,
I have
which
to say my most excited one. I'm
yes,
most excited about this one.
yes,
This is the top tier for
it would
me.
have to be the main guy in it.
Ewan McGregor. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
coming
yeah.
back. Ewan
Yeah,
McGregor
sweet,
coming back.
sweet, sweet, sweet. So this has been announced. This TV show has been talked about like a long
Hmm.
time ago, but
Hmm.
they because of COVID and all that stuff, it's been pushed and hasn't really began production, I believe. But
Yeah, no, it's like still in early production.
yeah, so it's starting
I think
production
they've
in
written.
April.
Yeah, I think they've written a bunch of things, but they haven't.
Hmm.
They haven't, you know, actually put anything in stone. Just as
Yeah,
of yet.
right. There isn't a release date, so it's sad to hear that it's coming, but it's also like
I think
knowing
it's
that it's
next.
going to be
It's next year
years.
sometime. I think they've said 2022.
Okay.
I don't like. There's no hard
Right.
release date for 2022, but it is coming out next year sometime.
Yeah. Okay.
But having said this, you bring up Ewan McGregor. They
Yeah.
announced the cast. I think it was last night or yesterday morning. So we're getting Ewan McGregor, obviously back in his role as Obi Wan Kenobi. We're getting Hayden Christensen is coming back as Darth Vader / Anakin Skywalker, which is insane. Because I feel like I haven't seen Hayden Christensen in almost anything since Episode 3. And that could just be me living under a rock, but I don't know. Moses Ingram, I'm not too sure who she's playing. We get Joel Edgerton, we get Bonnie PC, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. We get Kumail Nanjiani from Silicon Valley and the new Eternal show that's coming out with Marvel. He's part of the MCU and stuff now.
Yes.
Indira Varam, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly again. We get Rupert Friend, we get O'Shea Jackson Jr., Sung Kang, we get Simone Kessel and Benny Safdie. So it's a pretty stacked like cast and lineup.
Yeah.
Just for like, an 8-episode TV show.
It's gonna be great.
Very stacked. It's gonna be amazing.
Bomb. Yeah. The director for this is also Deborah Chow, who worked on Mandalorian. I mean, Mandalorian had like 5 directors, but she has led a couple of those episodes. She's also worked on American Gods, Better Call Saul, and many more things.
A bunch of
I
other
think
things.
she'll be great.
Is she getting all of the episodes, or are they going to do a similar thing where she sort of helms for the most part, like most of the episodes, but there are going to be like guest directors and things for a couple of them? I'm not too sure.
Maybe they'll implement the whole Mandalorian thing, but at this moment, we're not sure.
Okay.
But she might. So far, it's just her that we know of. But we don't really know anything more about the show itself, except that
we
the
do
story
have a basic synopsis, a little one.
So the story begins 10 years after the dramatic events of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, where Kenobi faced his greatest defeat, the downfall and corruption of his best friend and Jedi apprentice Anakin Skywalker turned into evil Sith Lord Darth Vader. So that's all we know.
I just got chills down my spine.
It's going to be so good, knowing that it's starting in that sort of section of the time period. Universe. Yeah. It's going to be a drama.
Major daddy issues. In like all over the board here. No, I can't wait. Just not only seeing sort of Obi-Wan's story more fleshed out and things like that, because obviously he was still around after Episode 3, but we didn't see too much of him. Like what were the events that happened between Episode 3 and Episode 4, or all the things that happened between these time periods, and then also we get more of a backstory on Darth Vader, and I feel like it's going to be a lot more of a personal backstory.
True.
We're going to see a lot of his. We're going to see a lot of his motivations and things like that, and a lot of the sort of
good.
I guess a lot of the backstory into him becoming more of a Sith Lord and stuff like that, and him, I guess interacting with the Emperor and becoming more fleshed out with the dark. Like, oh my god, it excites me. Very excited.
But yeah,
I hope no pushbacks. For this show.
Crossed.
It wouldn't surprise me if we do get some.
I think there will be maybe
a
little bit here and there, but hopefully not too drastic.
Hopefully it's not. If anything, hopefully it's just like the recent Black Widow pushbacks where it's like a month or so.
Yeah.
It's not like a whole 6 months or something like that. It's pretty tame, but fingers crossed it
exciting.
Comes sooner rather than later. Very exciting. But I guess we can sort of sneak on into another Disney Plus sort of realm topic. Our thoughts on Falcon and Winter Soldier, Jenz. Episode 2 came out. So I guess if you guys haven't seen Episode 2, if you guys haven't watched it yet, thank you guys for watching and listening. We'll see you guys next week. I would recommend stopping here because we're going to talk about some spoilers and things like that.
Yeah.
But if you have watched it, congratulations for unlocking the secret portion of the podcast. I enjoyed this episode.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a lot. I think it was a lot more enjoyable than the first one. The
I mean, there
first one
was
I feel
more
like they
stuff.
really laid down. Yeah, the first one they really laid down the foundations and like the building
Yeah,
blocks for what they're gonna like
just
do with the rest of the season.
purely backstory, really, in the first one.
Yeah. Yeah, but this one we got a ton, like in the first episode, like we said last week, we got a bunch of backstory on both Sam and Bucky, and sort of their motivations for probably a lot of the season.
Yeah.
But we got to see a tiny little bit of the new Captain America, or Casey Neistat, as I like to call him. But this week we got a bunch more backstory on him, and sort of
Yeah.
his motivations and how he fell into the role of becoming the new Captain America, which I thought was really well done. You know, they did it as like a bunch of
Yeah.
flashbacks and things to him and like the military and all that sort of stuff.
I'm glad they did
It was
that
quite well
as
done.
well.
Yeah, because
no one knew who
it
the
made
hell this
me
person is.
it made me enjoy him and sort of like him a bit more. You know, like I
Yeah.
really didn't like him in that first episode. From
Yeah, me too.
the 13
Hated him.
seconds right at the end that we got to see him, not a fan. Who
Hated
are you?
him.
Get off the screen. But from all the backstory that we got here, I can sort of I get him a lot more. You know, I
Yeah.
understand him.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that they did that. So we got a bunch more backstory on him and his sidekick as well. I forget his sidekick's name.
Oh, I could not tell you.
Yeah, he has a sidekick. They're basically the new Captain America and Falcon,
Pretty much.
basically. But yeah, the start of the episode, they help Sam and Bucky take down a bunch of the Flag Smashers, which are these new, we find out, like super soldier, basically anarchist type
Yeah.
people, you know? So they all have these like sort of superhuman abilities, which is kind of cool, you know? They're not just normal people sort of just disrupting the law and order. They're just a bunch of super soldiers, I guess. Which, yeah, they were kind of cool. And we saw a bit more backstory to them and their motivations too. So they're really starting to flesh out all of these sort of secondary characters and whatnot. It was quite exciting. And then it sort of just tails off into the end of the episode where it turns into a really dramatic sort of couples therapy, I guess I'd call it.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. It was good. It was really good. Especially the scene where the therapist was basically like, "Hey, can you guys face each other and really tuck yourselves in?"
and
they
do
really,
the
really
staring
tuck in, if you know what I
contest.
mean. Yeah, the no blinking competition, that was real fun.
Yeah.
You see a bunch of that like Marvel humor sort of slipping in and stuff like that. But after that, they they go out about their normal things, and I think that the turn of events were the same. The couples therapy happened before Bucky got arrested. Was that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh wait.
See, I can't remember
Before.
exactly.
Before, because he
Before?
got
Okay,
arrested
yeah.
because he didn't appear in his he wasn't at his
Yeah, he
psych
skipped his
appointment.
court-mandated therapy, or
Yeah.
Yep.
So it would have been
Yeah.
before.
Okay. Before. Yeah, okay. So they get out from their couples therapy. And Sam sort of describes to Bucky why he gave up the shield, and he just said he didn't feel comfortable taking on someone else's role. Like he feel like he didn't own that role, or he wasn't, comfortable being in that much of a limelight. He didn't want to be the Captain America, like he wanted to just be the Falcon. He wanted to be the secondary character. He wasn't ready to be thrust into the whole sort of center point of it. And so that's why he was like I'm giving up the shield. But then I think in an attempt to get Sam to see that anyone can be Captain America, he leads him to a little bit of a secret that him and Cap knew previously. In like the 70s or 80s, I think it was in a show, they said there was another Captain America who was actually like a black Captain America, so it would have been like sort of similar to Falcon's position. But he also gave up the role because I think in the show they said that he just basically was getting a lot of hate and a lot of like nobody could really vibe with him. No one was really like understanding why we needed a Captain America, stuff like that. But I think if I put my thinking cap on, I think that was meant to be like a reference to a bunch of like the ongoing racism in America and like the world, I guess. if you know what I mean.
I do,
like,
I do.
I feel like it was a really good undertone, and I feel like they did it in a really smart way because initially, like, I didn't see that. I just thought like, okay, there's another Captain America. But afterwards, the more I thought about it, and this morning when I was writing up this little thing, I was like, wait a minute, there's some underlying tones there.
I mean,
so I feel
also,
like they did that in a really good way.
Yeah, and also the fact that Sam Falcon was harassed by the police in that neighborhood.
Yes, well, that's it. Yeah,
That
like they were
was
just walking down the street, and then all of a sudden, yeah, and it's like so well timed because like obviously after all these things, like the BLM movement and stuff like that, and all of the horrific things that were going on around that, it's just like, how can you not see the underlying tones and things like that? Like that jumped out to me. The other one didn't as much, like the one I talked about just before didn't, but that one jumped out to me in the episode. I was like, holy shit. Like it was, really put a mirror up to you.
Yeah, it was,
yeah, quite confronting. But after that, they, obviously just jumping from that, the police go and talk to Sam and Bucky and stuff like that. Like, hey, what are you guys doing in this area? Is this guy, ask Bucky, is this guy, abusing you or assaulting you? Or like, is he annoying you? Bucky's like, no, he's fine. He's my friend. But then the police actually do a little background check on them both and find that Bucky was actually skipping therapy. Like he would had a warrant out for his arrest because he'd skipped his more court-mandated therapy. So they take Bucky in, they put him under arrest. He does his therapy and then gets released. And basically the end of the episode is them deciding that they need to go and break Baron von Zemo out of jail, which is very exciting because this is going to be one of like the big bads of the whole season, I feel. I'm quite excited to see where this goes. Very excited.
Yeah. I generally am not there yet. I'm not as excited about Falcon and the Winter Soldier as much as I have been with Wanda. So okay. I really think this third episode is probably the shifting point of it all because it's all been building up. There's just nothing that's happened.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
So I really
the kettle's
need
still
this
boiling.
Yeah, I really need this third episode to be like a banger.
Yeah. And I guess I can see where you're coming from as well. Like the first two episodes have been very much building blocks. Like they haven't done too much. There hasn't been any sort of action. There hasn't been sort of any major story progressions.
Yeah.
And I think there's only 4 more episodes remaining, if I'm correct.
Oh, wow, it's really short.
I think this is only 6 episodes long. Compared to WandaVision's 8 ?
I thought they had 10. I can't remember. Anyways,
I could be wrong. Yeah, but I feel like this one is a fair bit shorter than WandaVision, but the episodes are ever so slightly longer. So I think it's roughly the same total runtime, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you know how most of the WandaVision episodes were only like 25 minutes long.
Yeah, some of them quite short.
All of these episodes have been 40 so far, so it's like they are a fair bit longer. But I'm very excited because I feel like Baron von Zemo was in Civil War, but I feel like he was very underutilized as a villain in that. So I'm excited to see what they actually do with him and flesh him out more as a villain as well.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Marvel and the MCU have a very sort of, other than Loki, there has been no villain that has stayed around. Like they've always defeated the villain and they've always gotten rid of him. Which typically doesn't happen in the comics, like the villain sort of always comes back. So it's like, and obviously other than Thanos too, but they eventually did get rid of Thanos, but there hasn't been a villain that's stuck around, So this is exciting to see how they can flesh him out and sort of make him more of a sort of a main villain, I guess, for the whole thing. Yeah. I don't know. I'd be interested to see if they keep him around as sort of a villain in the greater MCU as well, not just for this one, and then sort of throw away with him at the end of this show.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, it's quite a short show, so maybe they will. I don't know.
I feel like they would have to. Otherwise, they're going to have the whole WandaVision thing where in that last episode is going to feel very rushed.
Yeah.
And I wasn't the biggest fan of the pacing in that last episode, so I don't want them to have to do the same thing here and like sort of rush and squeeze in a whole bit of things to sort of flesh it out and tie up a bunch of the loose ends.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll just have to wait and see,
Yeah, when it comes out, the episode will be coming out today, so we shall see.
As you guys are listening to this, the episode will be out in a couple of hours, hopefully. So we'll have to fill you in on our thoughts on episode 3 next week's episode.
Mm-hmm.
But Jenz, was there anything that jumped at you in this episode? Did you notice anything too crazy?
No, nah, not really. The only thing that I quite like about the series so far is that they do not like each other. Like, they're not friends.
Yeah. It's very much like that buddy cop.
Yeah,
sort of
it's
thing.
a very interesting idea to have, because usually when you think of Marvel or like the Avengers, they're all like, they're like great friends. They're like buddies. You know, they
there's
love
no
each
conflict.
other.
There's no internal conflict between any of them,
And they're all such nice people, But in reality, in this one, they really are butting heads. So it's really interesting to see that dynamic instead.
It is quite refreshing to see that.
Yeah.
No,
but what
I'm excited for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Again, nothing too crazy. Like, I did enjoy the episode as an overall. I thought it was a lot better than the first episode,
for sure.
because the first episode wasn't too much. It was just a lot of, again, like I say, the building blocks. Nothing too crazy other than sort of the subliminal undertones of all the messaging and things. Those are the only things that jumped out to me a lot.
Me too.
Other than that, I'm just excited to see where they go with Zemo. Like I said, I can't wait, because I feel like episode 3 is going to be a lot of Zemo.
I reckon. It'll be cool.
So I'm really excited to see how they go with that,
Yeah.
I can't wait. I just need more Marvel.
Yeah, me too.
More Marvel, please.
But I guess, is there anything else you would like to chat about?
Nothing that I can think of off the top of my head,
Yeah.
Other than, like Jen says every week, the usual: like, subscribe, rate us on iTunes or whatever podcasting software you listen to us through. Check out our most recent video we uploaded. We just uploaded this morning, or as of you guys are listening to this a couple of days ago, a Scribble It video. We had a lot of fun recording that one.
It was really cool.
You can see how great artists we are. I think there's a part 2 that should be coming out sometime soon as well.
Yeah.
So we have a couple of videos in our pipeline for you there, so make sure you're subbed up there as well.
Yes, please.
But yeah, nothing too much. Yeah. Anything from you, Jenz, before we wrap up?
Nothing from me, except that we know that there is a new Suicide Squad trailer, and there's going to be a new revamped Suicide Squad, but we aren't talking about it because somebody don't want to watch the trailer. So we're no talking.
Yeah, no.
Hey, look, I don't like watching trailers either.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I was surprised you brought it up. I was like, I don't know if you've seen the trailer or not.
Well, only because it's been made, so there's not a lot they can spoil.
I mean, I hate watching trailers nowadays. Like, I told you beforehand, me and Emma have been seeing the old James Bond movies, which I said a couple of weeks back now. I've been watching the old James Bond movies at the cinemas. And they've been showing the trailer for No Time to Die beforehand. Obviously, to hype up the one that's coming out. And I think it's November or October this year. I can't remember exactly because they pushed it back now. Hopefully it comes out. But every time it came on for 3 weeks in a row, I closed my eyes and put my fingers in my ears just so I couldn't spoil the trailer for myself again.
That's what
because
I do.
I just don't want to have any of the scenes spoiled.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
I'm very excited for this movie. So I want to see how it all is, like, in all its glory.
Actually, have you seen Godzilla vs. Kong?
I have not.
Oh my god, please. Are you planning to go?
I saw your message. I don't know if I want to see it in cinemas or if I want to wait for it to come out on Netflix or somewhere that I can rent it. Because
unless you
it's
have
like,
a huge
I haven't
sound
seen
system, go to a cinema. It seriously rocks.
I haven't seen any of the other ones, man.
I haven't either.
I haven't seen.
This was my
first
first
King
Godzilla.
Kong reboot. I haven't seen.
I haven't seen the other ones. I've only seen a couple of King Kongs, but this one, you don't need to know anything. You can go blind because you already know that there's a Godzilla and there's King Kong. That's all really you need to know. They explain everything else that you might need to know within the movie, but just go if you just want some like blatant action film.
Okay. Like, I have to see what Emma's doing. We'll have to try and
honestly,
find a time to go.
It was great. It was so good. Vaj and I went, and we went for gold class because we were just like, fuck, why not? It's like
See,
$10,
yeah.
$5 more.
I do have some gold class tickets or
Oh,
whatever that I
really?
got for Christmas, but I think I'm gonna save those for Black Widow, or like a
That's
Marvel
fair
movie that
enough.
I'm really
That's fair
excited to
enough.
see. You know,
I will say,
yeah. All right,
go for
I'll
like a
check it out.
VMAX, like a big screen. It is
Yeah, we've got the
really
Titan
good.
Lux at our cinemas, so we'll have to see if there's a session playing for that sometime soon, hopefully.
Yeah, we were really skeptical because it was getting like 83 or 87%, and we were like, really?
Yeah.
Really? But
I mean,
it's great.
I feel like that's pretty standard for most blockbuster action movies because a lot of the time they are just popcorn flick, like,
Yeah, but
just explosions, just like, there's no real substance to them, I guess.
no, there isn't a lot of substance compared to,
Mm,
some other films. But I think if you just want to go for good old action,
yeah,
it's
just see what you
really
could throw
up
down,
there. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to find what the other Godzilla got, but I don't think it got very good.
I
Anyways,
don't think it was very good. Yeah, I
yeah,
think it was called Kong, and it only came out a couple of years ago.
yeah.
Did that one have? No, that one didn't have Jack Black in it. That was the older one again. Because I remember
Jack
watching
Black was
that
in
one when I
there.
was a kid. I think and I think it came out in like 2008 or something. Like it's quite old now.
Right.
But there was a King Kong movie that had Jack Black in it.
Maybe Kong
That wasn't too bad.
Skull Island. Anyways,
I can't remember.
Just go.
All right, I'll keep it on.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's gonna wrap it up for us this week, guys. Thank you guys for watching and listening. Episode 13 of the podcast. I appreciate you guys. And I guess that'll wrap us up. So I'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.